Hey everyone, good morning. It's about 7:15. I don't know if this is going to be blurry or not, so I apologize. But I want to do a little bit of a review, recap of last night's Night of Champions. And I'll probably have 15 minutes to do this in, because that's the only time frame I have on my main channel right now. But let's get right into it. We start out with the tag team title match last night between Boom, who are the tag champions, that being Kofi and Evan, taking on the Awesome Truth, I guess you can call them now, Miz and R-Truth. Now, this in my opinion was a solid tag team match. Good action back and forth. From what some people have said in their reviews about it, what didn't really make sense to them was the fact that Boom was kind of doing some of the heel tactics, and the heel team was not even doing heel tactics. It's kind of confusing there, but hey, what are you going to do? But what happens is that Miz and R-Truth get so frustrated over the fact that the ref's not doing his job the way he should. That he's allowing Evan Bourne to do this when there was no real tag. That he stops R-Truth from getting in the ring after there was a tag. So they get so frustrated to the point that Miz ends up shoving the referee down. They basically take the referee out of the frustrations. Now, this causes a disqualification, which allows Boom to retain. Now, this whole situation with them doing what they did all will kind of have an effect later on in the night. That's right, it will still have somewhat of an effect later on in the night. Then we get into our next match, which is for the Intercontinental Championship, between Cody Rhodes and DiBiase. Now this was a decent tag. Now this was a decent Intercontinental Championship match. You had some good action back and forth at times. It almost looked like during the match you would have had a double pin, which obviously would have allowed Cody to retain. But it was decent. It was a decent match. Some people feel it would have been better for SmackDown, but it was a decent one. And Cody Rhodes wins with a roll-up and a handful of tights after DiBiase removes the mask and then tries to use it on Cody. So again, decent match, and Cody does end up retaining, like I said, the Intercontinental Championship. And I am in agreement with a lot of people here. I don't think Ted's ready yet to be the Intercontinental Champion. I'd say give him either till Vengeance, or give him until maybe an episode of SmackDown down the line before this year is out, before you put the strap on him. That's the way I look at it. Then we get, I think we get an in-ring promo with Sheamus and Christian. Christian first comes out, and basically, in his own way, trying to pander to the crowd, and it actually works. Tries to get them behind him in support of Teddy Long giving him one more shot at the World Heavyweight title. Now this brings Sheamus out, and Sheamus kind of manipulates Christian a little bit, making Christian think that he's supporting him as well, and then he hits him with the Brogue Kick. So kind of weird there. I mean, I guess I don't know what they're going to do. It's kind of weird there, but how that went. But I guess it was, a decent way of trying to continue building that feud, maybe, to see who will become the #1 contender in the near future. And as much as I hate to say it, and as much as people hate to hear it, there's no doubt in my mind we're probably going to get another. We're either going to get Sheamus and Mark Henry again, but this time for the world title down the line. And I'm sorry if I said anything there, but you'll see why I'm talking about that. Or Randy Orton and Christian down the line. The next match, though, next title match, was a fatal 4-way for the U.S. title. Now, I was kind of back and forth during this match. I was kind of in here in the living room and in my room, kind of going back and forth, if you will. And the reason I was going back and forth is because my mom was looking for her DVD remote. She was looking for this remote here. The reason was because we had my nephew, my 7-year-old nephew, over. And the other night he ended up playing with it and I guess accidentally put it away along with the other toys. So we couldn't find it for a while, and well, what are you gonna do, right? Anyway, we end up finding it. Well, actually my nephew remembers where he put it, supposedly. Anyway, I did try to watch some of it, and from what I saw, it was a decent fatal 4-way. It was very well done in some areas and some parts. I like how the fact that after Jack Swagger ends up gut-wrench powerbombing John Morrison, I like the fact that Ziggler, because this helps continue this program. As much as people may not like it, it helps continue the program. Ziggler just pushes him out of the way, like saying, "Get the fuck out, get the fuck out of my way. This is my match. This is my title. This is my moment." He ends up pushing Jack Swagger out of the way, and covers John Morrison to get the 1, 2, 3. So Ziggler does retain his United States title, which makes Vicky Guerrero happy, and it leads sort of to a backstage promo with Vicky, being congratulated by Matt Striker, and Matt Striker basically saying, and well, not Matt Striker, but Vicky Guerrero saying that she feels that she doesn't feel, but she knows if Triple H loses his match with CM Punk, that she would make a great COO, and she ends up kissing Matt Striker on the lips afterwards, and then does the "call me," kind of thing, and before she leaves. And I'm, and I know some people may not like what I'm about to say, but honestly, I'm really starting to like this Vicky Guerrero. I'm really starting to like her. I mean, she not only still gets that heat necessary for a heel with her excuse me's and all that, but I think they're really taking her character to another level, and I really believe that if they let the storyline go to where she does expand, she's going to be a great manager with not just Ziggler, but with others. Now, this also leads us into our world title match between, now the next match is our world title match between Mark Henry and Randy Orton. Now, Mark Henry and Randy Orton, believe it or not, they actually have a very good, I guess when you have someone like Mark Henry in it, very good world title match. Like I said, when it also involves someone like Mark Henry. And Mark Henry definitely showcased his dominance. It was a good way to showcase his dominance, keep his momentum going, because Mark Henry ends up winning the World Heavyweight title. That's right, basically Mark Henry kind of plays possum a little bit, kicks Randy in the knees, kind of weakens his leg a little bit, and this allows the opening he needs to hit a second World's Strongest Slam and become the World Heavyweight Champion. Now, Mark Henry, after winning the match, basically cut a promo saying he doesn't want nobody's support, he doesn't want nobody's cheering, because he's not sharing it with nobody, because nobody believed in him. And then he says nobody's going to beat him for this title for a long time, and he ain't going to lose it for a long time. And what that usually tells me is that, 25% of the time, in my opinion, 25 to 30% of the time, a company like WWE will actually stand behind what someone like Mark Henry says, and basically allow that person to run with the belt for a while, run with the championship for a while, for a few months. But then again, 70 to 75% of the time, that usually leads to the fact that they're going to end up losing the title a lot sooner than expected. So it's kind of like, you know, I'm hoping WWE goes 30%, at least lets them hold on to it till, let's say, Survivor Series, give them a 2-month run or something like that. Maybe let them hold on to it to TLC, because that would be a pay-per-view that wouldn't really, a pay-per-view and a match that wouldn't really suit him that well. Well, but, you know, let him at least hold on to it then. But we'll just have to see what happens, because like I said, 70 to 75% of the time, when a monster heel says that, they end up losing that title sooner than later. Then the next match we have is for the Divas title, Kelly against Beth Phoenix. Kelly in hostile territory, no doubt about it. She got a few cheers, but those were droned out, basically. Those cheers were droned out by the massive boos she got, the negative reaction she got. And then Beth Phoenix, oh man, you talk about pop of the night. She got basically the pop of the night. There's no doubt about it. And these two ladies actually had a decent diva match. You know, it was decent in terms of diva matches. It actually went a little longer than I think the SummerSlam match. And you know, I mean, I like the fact that they play up before the match begins. I like the fact that when the camera kind of zooms in on Kelly as the match is starting, she has this look of doubt in her face, like, oh God, you know, like, oh, you know, because, you know, the camera zooms in on Kelly, like, she has this look of doubt on her face, like, oh God, I've never been in this situation before, what do I do? I mean, she's been in a match with Beth before, but she's never been in hostile territory. That's the deal. She's never been in hostile territory. But again, they had a decent diva match, a little longer, went just a bit longer than the SummerSlam match. Moment of the match was the superplex, because we had not seen a superplex performed in a diva/women's match in quite a while. And you know, just when it looks like Beth Phoenix is going to finish Kelly off, Kelly ends up sunset flipping and rolling up, if you will, Beth Phoenix for the 1, 2, 3, for the second pay-per-view in a row. Now, this apparently does piss off some fans, because, you know, the negative reaction that Kelly got before the match began when she came out, she got once again when she won. And so hopefully, if I'm WWE, I got Kelly the heck out of there. But to me, I think the reason Kelly was allowed to win, and the look that they had on Beth Phoenix's face, not only because, as Michael Cole put it, she choked, if you will, which I don't think she did, but I think obviously the look on Beth's face, storyline-wise, kind of tells a story that maybe she's underestimated. Maybe her and Natalya realized, you know what, maybe we've underestimated Kelly. Maybe we've underestimated Eve. Maybe they are more than just beautiful faces. Maybe they are actually, you know, committed to what they do in this ring. Now we'll just have to see where they go with that, though. Now the next match was the WWE title match. Now we kind of had some promos back and forth between Cena and Del Rio at first, because Del Rio came out without his car, which Cena came out with. And basically, just like I said, a little bit of promos, introductory kind of like promos. And then we had the match, which actually turned out to be a decent WWE title match. And Del Rio actually to me, stepped it up a bit. Ricardo tried to interfere, tried to interfere the first time, but then got ejected for it. From ringside, got ejected for it. And it was just a back and forth match. It was back and forth, decent / good WWE title match. You know, John Cena and Del Rio really, like I said, had a decent match, had a good match. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the time here, and I'm going to have to take a pause break here and do this in the second part.